There is a substantial risk of loss associated with trading forex, binary options, stocks, or equities, collectively, asset classes. Only risk capital should be used for trading. Trading in any asset classes is not appropriate for everyone. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. No representation is being made that investors will make profits, or will not sustain losses. Before trading in any asset classes, investors should consult with their professional broker, financial advisor, or financial consultant to determine whether trading asset classes is appropriate. Investors who trade in any asset classes should only do so if the capital used for this purpose represents funds that an investor can afford to lose without adversely impacting the investor's lifestyle. No trading strategy or methodology is without risk of loss. No trading strategy is risk-free, and no trading strategy can guarantee profits or freedom from losses. Investors risk losing the cost to execute any transaction, including associated commissions or fees. You should carefully consider whether trading in any asset class is appropriate for you in light of your investment experience and financial resources. Any trading decisions you make are solely your responsibility and at your own risk. None of the statements or materials in the Auvoria Prime chat rooms constitute a solicitation or recommendation to buy or sell.
Welcome to the Zeus Insights call. This call is dedicated to going over the basics of Zeus, how to trade it, what to look for when you are trading Zeus. Also, we go over just what we've been doing within our trade rooms over the last few sessions, and then what to look for in both the market and in Zeus development. Reviewing some of the things that we've done, and in that moment, seeing if we have any opportunities. The Zeus Development Insights is to give you the guidelines to how to trade Zeus, and more so focus on what to look for with the software and things that may be coming up within our trading and within Zeus. So getting right into it, this was where we ended off yesterday, and we talked about this yesterday. It's one of our calls that we did, one of our analysis, and what I was talking about yesterday was the fact that we had one of the more significant pieces of news in Forex, something that's greater, in my opinion, than a red folder. Like, I would make this if they could recolor it, I would make it a black folder, and that is the official cash rate for the New Zealand dollar. Very important, because one, this piece of news only happens 7 times per year. This is not a monthly or weekly report. With that, it adds more scarcity in information, which adds more reaction to how the markets move when the information is released. So that particular piece of news happened on this candle here. So it happened on that candle. And we came into the markets on our previous call right after that candle. What I said is that the news, it took that news to create a stop hunt. And you want to follow, when it comes to price action trading, if you get to see a clear stop hunt, like, you want to follow the direction that stop hunt is intending to go. Like, so if you're getting a stop hunt to the low, then you're expecting the market to go high. And we talked about this. And we were here at the close of this candle when we said, hey, GBP NZD, all signs are good for a buy. And since that point, the market has went up tremendously, 250 pips since that call. We had other calls. We had Euro NZD. Euro NZD had a similar, let me see if I can find, there it is, had a similar reaction. Had a stop hunt to the low. We expected to move up, and it gave us that move. So when you get to places in the market where you can confirm the market is going in that direction, at least there's momentum in that direction, that's where you turn to Zeus. Here, the yellow line on the TDI was going up. This one here was still trending up. that curved up right at that line, like you see how it's going up. So all of them except for, I won't count this one. This one, the line was going down. But all green, lines going up, and that's what you're looking for. If you go down to 1 minute, I'm going to have to go back a little bit on the 1 minute. But even on the 1 minute, you have a lot of moves that happened. So we had it's further back than our candle's color, but you see that you had all these upward candles happening on the 1 minute. And as far as, even if you're filtering with the TDI confirmation, you probably wouldn't have traded these two, and rightfully so, because it was in consolidation. But you see here, the line starts to go up, the green crosses over the red, you're getting this arrow here. That would have been your entry arrow. If you missed that arrow, you would have had this one over here. So you have like a lot of entries where you could have gotten to the market and things would have played out in your favor. So there, you wouldn't have gotten that trade. The TDI line's moving down, green was below the red. But this one, perfect entry. Yeah, TDI, the yellow line's moving up, green above the red, and of course you're in trend and you got green colors around you. So like, this is why, following the extra confirmation, like you could just do this and be fine. Like if you're confused on the whole market structure, I know it takes a couple times to learn it, but one thing I would say in regards to that is don't tell your mind it's hard, because you're going to make it hard. Tell your mind you can learn it. This is something that I can learn if you're struggling with it, and watch how fast you actually learn it, and you'll see it's very simple. But if the market structure aspect of the analysis is confusing you, you can just go on and trade your favorite pairs and just follow this confirmation. Just follow the confirmation, and that makes it very simple. Much on price action today. So like you can look. Now, so that's here. Stop loss is 25 pips. That should actually, that changed itself. I'm gonna have to fix that. One second. Well, I'm not gonna fix it right now, but what? Yeah, I'm not gonna mess with it right now. But anyway, this is supposed to be 25 and 50. I think it auto adjusted itself for the indices because these are like the indice settings doing 25% for tier 3 indices. But this is supposed to be 25 pips, 50%, 20, and then the rest at 100. So you would be trading with a 25%, 25 pip stop loss. So 25 pip stop loss for, let's pick one that wasn't the best looking one. So this one here, 25 pip stop loss. See if it hits that. So no, it only goes to 18 pips. So that would be simple. So like if I'm going to GPNZD, I have this pulled up. I can go into the Zeus OPM settings. Click here and then just set it to be what I would like it to be. So I had 25. My final take profit is 100. It's 100 pips. Second take profit, first take profit is the same as the stop loss. The second one, I think, was 60. And the rest was 100. So like that would, and I'm just sitting, waiting for my trades to happen. So like all these down trades here, I'm not taking. Why? Because it's not in trend. So yeah, like these trades would have won, like maybe not this one. Oh no, that one would have won too. I was thinking it was more pips than what it looked like, than what it was. So 8 pips, yeah, they still would have won, but this is counter trend. And it's right into our Asian session zone, but as far as time zone. But I don't trade counter trend when I can trade with the trend. So like when it starts to capitalize back up, then I will catch the trade within the trend. So I would go to like a different pair, like we go to gold. So let me fast forward to now. Let me reload Zeus on here so I can get the TDI. All right, there we go. And we'll delete this one. So like the stochastic we're only using for the Zeus on the go strategy. But like look at this choppiness, right? Notice how this entire time of this choppiness, the TDI was moving downwards. And for the most part, the green was below the red. Like we had this little pop up here. Let me see if it lines up with this signal. Like we had this pop up here. That, like, say if you're specifically trading TDI strategy, like that really wouldn't have been good because the TDI line is still trending down. It's not moving up at all. So like all of these entries, except for, let me see when the first one that starts to qualify is this one. This blue line here. I mean this blue arrow here. That's where like literally it starts to qualify. You get a little bit of pips. You know, that would have been a TP1 trade. Let's check this one. This one, like say if you took it, that would have been your loss there. See how much you go. This one here, probably wouldn't have got anything there. That would have been a loss. But as far as, you know, AUD or not AUD, gold, you know, our trading times for gold is London, New York. So like, if I let me see when the Asian session started. Okay, so this is the 5 minute. It's actually late for Asian session. Oh, on gold, Asian session starts at 7 p.m. Eastern time. That's what it is. Because I was about to say, like, it should be over here, you know, so that's 2:30 to this MetaTrader. So that means I'm 6 hours ahead, or technically, you know, just numbers wise, 6 ahead. So if I go here, this was six hours ahead. So this would have been me 23, 24, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that would have put me at 4 o'clock. So the market did. So this market didn't even show any gold at 4 o'clock. Like it didn't show any price action. I was like, something was weird. That's why the 4 o'clock central hour, this broker doesn't show. Like it doesn't do anything. Okay, that's why it was throwing me off. I'm like, why is my time thrown off? That's why. But anyway, that was kind of in that area. Copy late New York session, so that's not Asian session. I just had to kind of figure that out in my head. It wasn't gonna let me. I wasn't gonna be able to let go from it. So let's go to silver. Silver. I'm going down to the 1 minute. perfect. Let's zoom out. Let me just kind of see where the market was. Just in general, I didn't look at silver today. So at least I could tell where the market was trending before right now, because the trend calculator doesn't show you past trending data. It only shows you what the trend was at that moment, which is the only thing you really need. But for teaching purposes, let me figure out where the trend was at least leading into today. So, because I didn't trade silver or gold today or yesterday. Should have, especially yesterday. But yeah, that would have been a great trade. But today, you know, it was uptrending market. So we go down. Let's go to a 5 minute. Let me not go minute for minute, because I'm not trading right now. So let's go to last few trades. Let's not count this one. And it was this. Okay, this was right. This is right outside our window here. So like 2300 for my broker is 4 p.m. Central for me, which means that's the start of Asian session, which means I do not trade, so these don't count. This one would, but this one wouldn't. Like this one, this started. So like the times that I don't trade, somebody asked me this. So I'm in Central Time. I don't take trades between 3 p.m. and 7 p.m. So like that's because of Asian session, like the market turning over. You get a lot of consolidation during that time. The market is really choppy. There's no real price action happening. So, you know, this one here, this up arrow here, I mean, that's a valid trade. It's still kind of around the entry. Like this isn't a trade room trade like call, but you know, this will be a valid trade for Zeus. Reason being, you have, like, even if we use the original confirmations, you know, the green is above the red, everything is green. This is coming from a lower side, like beneath the 30. Like this is coming from the lower part of the stochastic range, and the green is above the red. But as far as the simplified TDI strategy, the arrows here, everything's green. The TDI is moving up, and you have the green above the red. Like all that lines up. Like we could literally make it a little bit less complicated. Keep it simple. So like that would be a valid trade. It's a valid trade entry. But going back, that would have been your loss there. The rest, like you wouldn't have been in either one of these trades because you're in this first trade. This one would have been a win. This one would have been you wouldn't have took that trade. You see the line is red. The middle moving average is red, so that's a trade you wouldn't have took. This one obviously was a great trade. Everything lines up for it. This one here would have been a valid trade, but this one only went about 5 pips, so not much happened there. That would have won. This one would have won. Well, all of them really would have won there. So, like, you're going to get it to where the whole point of me doing this is to show you that, one, it's not 100%. Nothing in trading is ever 100%. Like, if people tell you that they got a 100% strategy, run away from them. But two, we can kind of do this so you can get familiar with the actual Zeus more so the TDI confirmation strategy, just something to make it much more simpler for you. Green, moving up. Green, moving up. If you want to add the green above the red as another mental note, do that. You see how this is moving down? So TDI is moving down there. No, not trading this one. This one you may have gotten into that one because that one would have looked good before this happened. So that would have been a loss, but you would have had a win there. You would have had a win there. So you would have had like 2 wins before that loss. So it balances out. Like you're gonna have more wins. You're gonna have losses. Your losses are going to be smaller than your wins. That's how you win with trading. So, does anybody have any questions? I know I went for a little bit. Okay, cool. So, with that being said, just going forward in just the next couple days, go to Friday, between today and Friday. It's going to be like, so Tuesday was New Zealand Day. Today was Canada Day. Canada and Australian dollar. Australian dollar should be actually popping off right now. London session, it's going to be a heavy European day, like as far as the euro having volatility. So like we're just following where the money is. So let's actually, since the AUD pairs are having some significant news, let's see what's happening within the AUD market, the Aussie market. So it's popping up there. Let's go to the Australian pairs in general. So you're getting some reactions. So basically, just based off of price action, the news must be negative because you see how all the Australian pairs are having larger bearish candles. So just off of that, and then like the versus Euro AUD. See, Euro AUD is going up, so that news must be negative. Let's check it out. Yep, negative news. You have a higher unemployment rate, low employment change. So, meaning that those are negative factors in the market. Like, of course, higher unemployment is self-explanatory. So, that's a negative metric. So, that's why the market's reacting like that. So, this could be a similar play with Australian dollar as New Zealand dollar from yesterday. But what you want to pay attention to is this, if it's going to get past this resistance level here. Because that was actually pretty significant. Like if you expand it out, it basically touches a lot of areas in the market where the market bounces off from. So that's a pretty consistent area. So I would like for the market to at least get above that. So show me its willingness to create a higher high, because remember, we're still waiting for that higher high to be created, higher than this high. So that's why I'll be waiting out for the Euro Australian pair. So let me check. Anybody have questions? If not, I'll definitely look out for. Now we're working on our updates, getting just the final things done with what we want to do, and look out for them soon and get in that mode.
There is a substantial risk of loss associated with trading forex, binary options, stocks, or equities, collectively, asset classes. Only risk capital should be used for trading. Trading in any asset classes is not appropriate for everyone. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. No representation is being made that investors will make profits or will not sustain losses. Before trading in any asset classes, investors should consult with their professional broker, financial advisor, or financial consultant to determine whether trading asset classes is appropriate. Investors who trade in any asset classes should only do so if the capital used for this purpose represents funds that an investor can afford to lose without adversely impacting the investor's lifestyle. No trading strategy or methodology is without risk of loss. No trading strategy is risk-free, and no trading strategy can guarantee profits or freedom from losses. Investors risk losing the cost to execute any transaction, including associated commissions or fees. You should carefully consider whether trading in any asset class is appropriate for you in light of your investment experience and financial resources. Any trading decisions you make are solely your responsibility and at your own risk. None of the statements or materials in the Auvoria Prime chat rooms constitute a solicitation or recommendation to buy or sell.